Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to have you here again. If you're new, hi. I'm so glad you found us. This channel is all about helping you speak real, natural American English, the kind that people actually use every day. Not just textbook English, not boring grammar drills, but the kind of English that makes people say, "Wow, you sound like a native speaker." Today, we're diving into something super powerful, something that can totally transform the way you sound when you speak: phrasal verbs. Yep, those tricky little combinations of verbs and prepositions that seem simple, but actually carry so much meaning. If you've ever wondered why native speakers sound so smooth, so casual, and so expressive, this is one of their biggest secrets. So, what exactly are phrasal verbs? Well, they're phrases that are made up of a verb plus a particle, which is usually a preposition or an adverb. Words like up, out, in, off, or down. For example, wake up, turn off, look after, get along, pick up. Each of these sounds simple, but they completely change the meaning of the original verb. Take the verb get, for instance. On its own, it means something like receive or obtain. But when you start combining it with little words, it becomes magical. Get up means to rise from bed. Get over means to recover. Get along means to have a good relationship. And get through means to finish something difficult. See, one tiny word can totally change everything. Now, here's the thing. Native speakers use phrasal verbs constantly. Like, all the time. In casual conversation, in movies, in podcasts, at work, in school, everywhere. You might not even notice it because it sounds so natural, but if you want to sound fluent and confident, you absolutely have to master them. The problem is, English learners often avoid phrasal verbs. And I get it. They can feel confusing. Why does give up mean to quit? Why does break down mean to stop working? Why does take off mean to remove and to become successful? It can feel overwhelming at first. But don't worry. That's exactly what I'm here for. My job is to make this simple, easy, and fun for you. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand not just the meaning of these expressions, but how to actually use them naturally, like a real American speaker. Because learning vocabulary isn't just about memorizing lists, it's about using words in real-life situations. So today, we're going to focus on practical, everyday phrasal verbs that will help you sound instantly more fluent. Let me tell you a little secret. When I talk to English learners, I can usually tell how advanced they are, not by how many big words they know, but by how comfortably they use phrasal verbs. For example, a beginner might say, "I will meet my friend later." That's fine, but a native speaker would probably say, "I'm gonna meet up with my friend later." Or instead of saying, "I will review this," a native might say, "I'll go over this." It's not just about vocabulary, it's about rhythm, flow, and connection. Phrasal verbs make your English sound natural and friendly. They help you express yourself more clearly and more emotionally. Imagine saying, "I broke up with my boyfriend." That phrase carries not just information but feeling. It sounds real and human. Compare that to, "I ended my relationship." Technically correct, but emotionally cold. See the difference? So if your goal is to sound like a local, to communicate smoothly, to express yourself like someone who grew up speaking English, this is where you start. Mastering phrasal verbs will give your speech color, character, and confidence. And don't worry, we're going to take it step by step. You don't need to memorize hundreds of phrasal verbs overnight. The trick is to learn them in context, in real situations where they naturally appear. That's why today's lesson is packed with real-life examples, stories, and short conversations. You'll hear how Americans use these phrases when they talk with friends. Alright, now that you know why phrasal verbs are so important, let's jump right into some real-life examples. I want you to start hearing how native speakers use them in everyday situations, not in a textbook, but in real conversations. The cool thing about phrasal verbs is that they're everywhere. You'll hear them in movies, music, and even casual chats between friends. Let's start with one that you've probably already heard: pick up. Imagine this. Your friend texts you, "Hey, can you pick me up at 7? What does that mean? It doesn't mean literally lift me up off the ground. It means come get me in your car. So, pick up equals collect someone or something. Check mark example. I'll pick you up after work. Check mark example. Can you pick up some milk on your way home? See how useful that is. Instead of saying, "Can you go to the store and buy milk?" native speakers shorten it naturally. Can you pick up some milk? It's faster, smoother, and totally natural. Now, let's move on to another one. Turn in. If your teacher says, "Don't forget to turn in your homework," they don't mean to turn something physically into something else. Turn in means submit. Check mark example. I turned in my project before the deadline. Check mark example. She forgot to turn in her report. So, next time you're in class or at work, and you need to give something to your teacher or boss, don't say, "I will submit it." Just say, "I'll turn it in." That's what a native speaker would say. Here's another one you'll hear all the time: hang out. If you want to sound friendly and relaxed, this one's a must. Hang out means spend time together, usually in a casual way. Check mark example. Do you want to hang out this weekend? Check mark example. We were just hanging out at the park. Notice how natural that sounds. You don't need to say, "Do you want to spend time together socially?" That's too formal. Hang out is what real people say. Next up, let's talk about run into. This one's super common in American English. Run into means meet someone unexpectedly. Check mark example. I ran into my old friend at the mall yesterday. Check mark example. You won't believe who I ran into at the airport. It doesn't mean you literally crashed into them. It's just a friendly way to say you met someone by surprise. And see how much more natural that sounds. I accidentally met my old friend. Feels robotic. But, I ran into my old friend. Sounds fluent and friendly. Okay. Now let's mix in another everyday one: figure out. This one means to understand something or to find a solution. Check mark example. I can't figure out why my phone isn't working. Check mark example. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. This is one of the most useful phrasal verbs you'll ever learn. You can use it in work meetings, school, or even personal life. Anytime you're trying to solve a problem, figure out is your go-to phrase. And here's a fun one: chill out. When someone's stressed, worried, or just overreacting, you might say, "Hey, chill out." That means relax or calm down. Check mark example. You're stressing too much about this exam. Just chill out. Check mark example. After work, I like to chill out and watch Netflix. You'll hear this all the time in casual conversations, especially among younger people. It gives your English a natural, easy-going vibe. Let's practice another super common one, put off. This one means to postpone or delay something. Check mark example. I keep putting off my dentist appointment. Check mark example. Don't put off studying until the last minute. Every English speaker does this, not just the action, but also the phrase. It's one of those real, human expressions that describe everyday habits perfectly. And of course, we can't forget, look after. That means to take care of someone or something. Check mark example. Can you look after my dog while I'm away? Check mark example. Parents have to look after their kids. Simple, but essential. It's polite, natural, and shows care. Now, here's a mini conversation to help you hear these in action. A. Hey, what are you up to this weekend? B. Not much. I might hang out with some friends. U. A. I've got to look after my little brother, but maybe we can meet up later. B. Sounds good. Oh, I ran into Sarah yesterday. She said hi. A. No way. I haven't seen her in ages. See how natural that sounds? That's real American English. Every line has a phrasal verb, and it doesn't sound forced at all. So, what can you do next? Try using these in your own sentences. Don't just memorize them, speak them out loud. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel. You can even record yourself and listen back to hear your progress. And remember, phrasal verbs aren't something to fear. They're your friends. They're what make your English sound alive, expressive, and real. So keep going, keep practicing, and by the end of this series, you'll be speaking like a local, confidently, naturally, and with your own unique style.